What's up, y'all? Just my 2 cents on this whole Jon Jones thing. Greatest MMA fighter of all time. I don't care if you put him against Godzilla. That's like betting against Jordan in basketball. In the playoffs, to be specific. There is no beating Jones. There will never be, in my opinion, ever be an MMA fighter that dominant. But let's get into it. If we'll be honest, nobody gives a damn about athletes taking steroids. That's always been there. The reason why I know is because we've seen that. Look at baseball. Look at all these different things. It's always been there. Steroids has always been around, even in bodybuilding. Since the beginning, steroids has been a huge part of everything. Do I personally take them? No. Do I recommend a 20-something-year-old take them with an able body? No. Am I against them? No. I'm not against steroids. I do believe there are certain situations to where it's okay for someone to take it. For example, like if an older man is starting to have issues where he can't get up or anything like that, there's a lot of good benefits. But if we're talking about MMA, people really don't care. Why? How do I know this? The biggest MMA events of all time were like pride events. There were pride events. People were watching. To this day, ONE FC, all these other places where you don't really hear them talk about testing, where you're pretty sure everyone's roided up, they sell millions. But we'll get back to this. The reason why people care now is because you now added, I'm talking about the UFC, they've now added this and said, listen, we're gonna start testing people. So now that you said that we're gonna start testing, then people are gonna start holding you to it. As regular human beings, that's what we do. We hold people accountable. So yeah, we didn't care, but you threw this in there. You threw this in there, and now they're gonna hold you to it. Now here's a guy who continues to fail his drug tests. Best of all time, in my opinion. Probably doesn't even need it. Maybe he does, who knows? But he keeps failing. And then now here you are going back on your word. He fails and fails, gets suspended, all that. You even reduce his suspension. Allow him to come back, like a year or two early. How does it make you look as an organization? Now, honestly, people, if you ran an organization and you said you're going to do this thing, whatever that is, and it's supposed to make everything better, it's supposed to hold everybody accountable, and then we go back on our word repeatedly, how would you look as a company owner? Like, how dumb does the UFC look right now? Yes, Jon Jones is a moneymaker and all that stuff, but he's going to always have that asterisk. And it really bothers me. He really does not feel bad at all. You can see he does not care. He does not care how all the people he's affecting. He doesn't care the risk he's putting people he's fighting against, knowing he's taking it. You see how his narratives keeps changing. The first time he failed the steroids test, he's like, oh, I'm taking dick pills, this and that. Never says, okay, I was taking steroids or whatever. He came up with that, what I don't believe is the truth. Mind you, I'm a fan of Jon Jones. And I'm sure if he runs into, he's going to hate me because he doesn't like anyone that presses him about any of these things. But honestly, does he have friends that press him about this? Are they actually his friends? But going back to it, the narrative changed that, he had steroids in his system. He did take it previously, but this picogram, it goes away. And the half-life of Turinabol is like 6 hours. So you tell me something that has a half-life of 6 hours is going to take 2 years to get out of your system? Right now, UFC's looking really bad because of that. It's going to be a great fight. I love watching him fight. I hope he always fights. But I'm just saying, this is making everyone look bad. And to be honest, Jon Jones don't give a damn. Like, he doesn't. He wants his belt. He's going to keep getting his belt. Why? Because the UFC got his back. UFC don't care about nothing except money. If they cared about the opinions of the fans, if they cared about making good matchups, they care about being fair and holding everyone accountable and not going back on their word, they'd understand that A pass is a pass and a fail is a fail. As a person like myself who isn't rich and hasn't necessarily made a name for myself, if I get penalized, if I get a ticket or something like that, it doesn't matter if it was an accident or not, I get punished. Very few times do they let me off. Now look at how they're treating all these fighters. So let it be some no-name person, and he had that whole picogram issue, multiple time failure. You can even name another champ. Like if DC did that, DC will get suspended, man. We've seen big names get gotten rid of. Frank Mir was a champ. I think if it was anyone else, like only other person it probably wouldn't happen to if it was like Conor. You know, Conor would probably get away with that because Conor is the UFC in my opinion. He's the man. And so it's kind of frustrating to see, and I kind of feel for the fighters, even though 205 is not really to me a crazy weight class right now. It's just Jones and potentially DC. But it is kind of frustrating to see that. I hope things straighten out and we don't run into this issue ever again. But we probably will. So might as well just get over it now, right?